So that a prayer to my spiritual master says, Sadbhakta Mane Manipura Udbhavaya. Manipura is Manipur means place of diamonds. Manipur. So Sadbhakta Mane, we say that he is jewel among the best devotees. Manipuru Udbhavaya. He has taken birth in Manipur. Srila Prabhupada Lasadvani Prachari Nirdaya. So the instructions of Prabhupada that he has taken to his heart and he has dedicated his life in fulfilling those instructions. Just like Prabhupada has done, because his Guru ordered him to go to West and give this Krishna consciousness. So he's taken that order and has his life and soul, Prabhupada. So he prepared his whole life to make that, to obey that order and to fulfill his Guru's instructions. That's why we're all here today. So in this journey we can see that every sincere soul goes through that, that accept that principle very seriously, that follow Guru's order. We may not go too fully. I'd like to show some pictures and share some realization and request. So that's the Prabhupada's quote. He says, Swarup Damodar is a nice devotee. He only makes friends, not enemies. So the Manipur is a northeastern state in India. It's a beautiful place with very scenic foothills of. The place is known for rich culture and heritage. The king of Manipur is a Vaishnava. The Gaudiya Acharyas have preached there and they made him devotees. Gaudiya Vaishnava state. It is one of the full Gaudiya Vaishnava state before. So Maharaj was born in 1937. Parents Yogendra Singh and Kiran Manipur. This is the Maharaj's picture when he was young. Because it's a Gaudiya Vaishnava state, you can see from his young age he has a Gaudiya Vaishnava tilak. And so that is why, that's the secret of how Srila Prabhupada when he looks Maharaj, he considered Maharaj as a great treasure for this moment. From the day one, you will see it. During World War II, there was difficulties in the village of Maharaj. So they moved from their original place, and his father expired when he was very young. And then soon he also got separated from his mother and sisters. There was flood and things like that. And he went to live with his uncle. And his uncle himself was very poor and he couldn't take care of his own daughter. So Maharaj, although he is only a child, so he decided that he would just take care of himself, not to be burdened on his uncle. So at the age of 12, Maharaj decided to live on his own. He was cultivating a paddy field. So he kind of discontinued his studies. And then few years later, so Maharaj is a school teacher because he knows that Maharaj is such a bright student. He arranged to with his colleague Kirani Singh to sponsor Maharaj. So that's how Maharaj, from young age itself, he went through so many difficulties. Again, by the age of 14, he became very seriously ill with typhoid, and everyone declared that he would die soon. So after fasting for 40 days, drinking only whey, he recovered at the age of 14 years. Such a So from his, as we saw in the picture, he was very attracted to hearing the pastimes of Lord. So, please read. He missed his examination to watch the Rasleela performance.
Prabhu, some of them at the back cannot read, I guess.
Oh, so it says on the occasion of, on one occasion he spent the entire night watching the divine Rasleela dance and consequently missed his final examination of 5th standard mathematics. He would also regularly participate in the deity worship of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, Sri Sri Gaunitai and Sri Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, who were installed in his village's local temple. You know, that is such a rich state, Gaudiya Vaishnava state it is. So this is Maharaj's peak profile. So everything on merit. On scholarship he came to USA to do his higher studies. There's some picture, a picture from the tour from his school days. See, the Maharaj is with the file here. This is in California, during his master's, PhD, sorry. So this is the story of when Maharaj's mother left. His mother left and got his, Kirani Singh is the one who sponsored Maharaj's studies. He advised his uncle wrote, being a Vaishnava, you should lament neither for living nor for dead. So Bhagavad Gita verse. His uncle reminded Damodar that the body is temporary but the soul is eternal. Sooner or later there will be time for everyone to leave this body, temporary body, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. He instructed Damodar not to waste any time worrying about temporary body, but to concentrate on his studies and return to India after graduation. And that he would arrange for the Shraddha ceremony. So Damodar cancelled his ticket to India, but at the same time began to lose interest in his studies. You see Krishna how he puts. So this is when Krishna arranges his meeting with Prabhupada during this difficult. So the intense purification in his childhood, so he became like such a austere sage kind of a person, such a loving, dear person to everyone. And then his friend Dr. Rao, he used to, Irvine is Laguna Beach, there used to be a temple when Prabhupada those days used to go. So following the devotees, so this Dr. Rao is also a scientist. He met Prabhupada first. So he used to repeatedly request Sripada Maharaj, in short, Bhakti Damodar Swami, to meet Prabhupada. And he would come and report all the activities, but he would not go and see because he didn't have so much pay to pay. Those days, all kinds of Swamis were coming to US. That's like how Prabhupada was not willing to meet Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His friend actually, like this. Similar words was used by Prabhupada's friend to make Prabhupada meet Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. If you do not accompany me tomorrow morning to see Srila Prabhupada, I will never come and see you again in this lifetime. Your friendship will be finished forever. Our friendship. So such a arrangement by Lord. This is his friend to my Guruji. So then, this is, I think, picture taken by Maharaj himself. Okay. Yeah. So that is Dr. Rao and this is Srila Prabhupada. So they know this eternal connection. So Prabhupada looked at him, oh, Krishna finally sent. Srila Prabhupada then asked Damodar, being born in Vaishnava family, why did you come here crossing the ocean? Prabhupada added, you young scholars and students have come here to the USA as beggars to beg scientific knowledge and dollars. But I have not come here to beg. I have come here to give the Americans something very valuable which they have not have, Bhagavad culture. Why didn't you do the same thing as I am doing? Why are you simply taking? Can you imagine the first meeting? So Prabhupada can speak like that because he can see the purity in Maharaj's heart. He could glance. Such elevated soul they can see, just looking at the face. And that was enough for Sripada Maharaj to surrender. This was told by him only, humbly. It was not recorded. This is recorded because such inspiring. And then this famous morning walks began. Prabhupada. Those days Prabhupada was so like a celebrity. There's no way you can get his time. He gives lectures. He's always busy writing books and dealing with guiding people. Once the doctor advised that Prabhupada's health is going bad, that's when he started the morning walks. And so Maharaj, those days, he used to live like 2 hours away from where this morning walk happened. And he bought this huge recording machine. It's not easy, it's not like nowadays, iPhone, you just record in the pocket. And the person who was driving with Maharaj was sharing this. So to go there, it takes 2 hours. Morning, I think 6 o'clock he starts, Prabhupada. So that means Maharaj has to get up, take shower, by 4 they have to start. And he used to drive so fast, so he didn't want to be late to that morning walk time. And he used to even jump signals kind of thing, something his friend was sharing. So it was the intensity to meet and take association of Guru. And so Prabhupada gave all his time to speak to Bhakti Yoga Satsang. And he used to record that. This famous recording that happened 7 days, very frequently. Prabhupada, it came as a book called Life Comes from Life, small book. You can read this conversation, some of the extract from this recording. So this is a quote from Prabhupada. Scientific method includes hypothesis, experimentation, observation, and then demonstration. That is perfect. Then it is perfect. But the scientists cannot actually demonstrate in the laboratory that life comes from matter. So the instruction to my spiritual master from Prabhupada is that prove that life comes from life, and also matter comes from life. Right? Our speculation today is that life is a combination of matter. I think RupaChandra Prabhu can say more on this. He is doing his PhD. Following the footsteps of Guru, he's come here to do his PhD. So this is to this famous scientist. This question was asked by my spiritual master in a conference. And Prabhupada liked it very much. He quoted in so many lectures. And in some purpose also. Suppose if I were to give you all ready-made biomolecules, DNA, proteins, lipids, sugars, etc., will you be able to combine life within a test tube by combining these molecules? That we can't say. That's the reply. Because most of the times the science try to make, invent this, try to find the combination, formula of how to make this bigger molecule. See, Maharaj is relishing here. He would try to represent a scientist, and Prabhupada used to defeat him. Within no time, within seconds. This is what scientists do. Prabhupada, out of his love, he uses these words called rascals. Somebody asked Prabhupada, why do you use, why do you call us rascals? Because I love you so much. I don't want you to suffer in this material world. That's why. He wants us to go back. It's like we call our kids. So again, another verse from Prabhupada. Just as a living body of man produces chemicals, the Supreme Life, the Supreme Lord is producing all of the chemicals found in the atmosphere, the water, in humans, in animals, and in the earth. That is the mystic power. Unless the mystic power of the Supreme Lord is accepted, there will be no solution to the problem of the origin of life.
What was that?
Sorry?
There is
Square word is that? Oh, it's just.
purpose, reason. That square and that.
I think it's trying to show that the nails come from life. It's not that dead matter doesn't come from dead things.
Thank you, Prabhu. Please read this. Anyway, these things are there in this book. You can find the soft copy online also. So Bhakti Vedanta Institute was formed under the guidance of Prabhupada. Prabhupada made Sripada Maharaj the director, international director for the Bhakti Vedanta Institute. And everything else, Prabhupada has suggested the GBC for BI. He always said Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami. Because he has so much of faith in him. And not that these days some of us, we read Prabhupada books, we may try to knowingly imitate Prabhupada. Because he is Acharya, we can imitate Acharyas. But Prabhupada himself has trained my Guru Maharaj that the way to preach to scientists is by friendship. Because he has seen that great humble nature in Maharaj. He has empowered him to do this job. So whatever method that Maharaj is adopting is the right method. Some people are confused, why Bhakti Yoga Institute doesn't challenge scientists like Prabhupada do. Prabhupada never said it because he trained Maharaj so many hours together. Until his deathbed, Maharaj was serving Prabhupada. He used to take night shift and Prabhupada was on his deathbed. Until last minute, on his deathbed, Maharaj arranged an international conference to please Prabhupada. So this Bhakti Yoga Institute is kept directly under Maharaj. He always quoted Maharaj. In fact, there are so many quotes on this. So there was so many preaching in colleges and universities throughout his lifetime. And many occasions, Prabhupada used to tease some of the young American devotees sometimes. Many times, like there used to be when everyone is waiting for Prabhupada. Remember those days, Prabhupada came alone, and now he's attracting all young Western youth. He's training them, and a lot of things are going on, and purification is going on. And many people are accusing that. They fault find. They say, "Oh, this is a movement of hippies and things like that." Right? And also, if you see, there's so many troubles that Prabhupada went through, even in the beginning days. But he shared that, I was praying to Krishna, they sent me a nice... So, Maharaj was scientist, so that was another... Prabhupada was so inspired by his humility and qualification. So, these are some of the pictures of how Maharaj was whole life dedicated in these different universities in his lifetime. And I had a great fortune to serve Maharaj in Bangalore when I first met him. And every time he comes to Philadelphia and Metanexus University for a conference on science and religion, I had a great fortune continuously 3-4 years. He used to stay with us in New Jersey. Philadelphia is just 1 hour, 1.5 hours to go back and forth. So Bhakti Yoga Institute also has these huge buses. They have a temple inside, books. You go to university in India, distribute books. And you can put Jagannath here.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, thank you for giving me the opportunity to glorify Guru Maharaj. So, this title, Dialogue with Scientists and Scholars. So, you can see Maharaj engaged with various kinds of dialogues, and some of these dialogues were actually recorded in books. There you see Charles Towns, he's a Nobel laureate in physics, and Werner Erber is Nobel laureate in physiology and medicine. Charles Towns is considered to be one of the best scientists in the world, even amongst the scientific community, they even consider him more prominent than Stephen Hawking. So Maharaj had a unique way of preaching. What he would do is that he would meet the scientists, and by talking with them, he would get them to say what is in the Vedas and what is in Prabhupada's book. Tell me the glories of the holy name. Or he would ask Ramananda Rai, what is the highest goal? So in this way, Lord Chaitanya got these people. He preached by getting them to say something about bhakti. So in the same way, Maharaj would meet these great scientists and would have dialogues with them in such a way that they would end up saying glorious things about the Vedas, about God and so forth. And then these books and these quotes from these scientists will then be used to show the general population that it is not true that science and religion have to be separated. Science and religion can be synthesized to find the higher truth in life. And you can see some of these quotes here. I definitely believe that quantum theory is not a final theory, and it is incomplete. I agree with Einstein in that sense. So you see, scientists themselves are saying, this Alan G. McDermott, who's a Nobel laureate in chemistry, says, I was brought up as a Christian scientist when I studied in college. At that time, I thought it was all nonsense. Now I feel like I've sort of a complete circle. I now feel very strongly that prayer and the power of the mind can be very great and important on body chemistry and the immune system. So the scientists themselves are preaching about the glories of devotional life. And God is a person, we have actually a book entitled God is a Person, based on a conversation between Maharaj and William D. Phillips. He was the one who invented laser. William Phillips was the person who came up with laser. So my belief is in a personal God, a God who is both the creator of the universe and is intimately connected with the welfare of the creatures of that universe. I understand God is not nearly enough for me. I believe in a God who wants good things for us and wants and expects us to care for our fellow creatures. I believe that God wants genuine, loving relationships with us and wants us to have such relationships with each other. So these quotes are very powerful. It can be used for preaching to say that no, it's not true that scientists have to be atheists. You see, these great scientists, the top ones, they themselves believe in God. So these are more pictures. Michael Behe talked about, he had this one book where he argues against the theory of evolution. So these are one of the instructions Prabhupada gave him, was to write several books to prove scientifically that God is a supreme person. So to this effect, Maharaj has written various number of books. The scientific basis of Krishna consciousness was written during Prabhupada's presence. Prabhupada is very happy with it, and he would often distribute these books to his guests and visitors himself. So Prabhupada also told him to write commentary on Vedanta Sutra in a scientific way to prove that the human being's only business is to inquire of the absolute truth. And Maharaj had written a few commentaries on the first few verses of the Vedanta Sutra. Okay. So more books. This is also another thing that Maharaj did. He was able to interact with many of the world leaders like Abdul Kalam, even the people like Desmond Tutu, Dalai Lama, the Pope, because somehow or other, Krishna paved the way for him to be able to interact with these people, and very attracted him by his Vaishnava qualities. Abdul Kalam even wrote a chapter in some of Maharaj's books. There's another book called Peace and Harmony, where Abdul Kalam wrote a chapter. These are some of the books that he's written. If anyone is interested, you can get in touch with Shivananda Prabhu, who can get these books for you. These are some of the later books. And they're also translated in various languages. These are 7 Nobel laureates, so different Nobel laureates talking about science and spirituality. Because Prabhupada said that as long as they have these scholars and scientists discussing about God, that is a great success of Bhakti Yoga Institute. And he also instructed Maharaj to organize various conferences. The first conference, as you can see, in 1977, Prabhupada wanted to see the first one in Vrindavan, so it was organized in Vrindavan, and Prabhupada was very happy because, as you can see, it's published in a newspaper, and Prabhupada said the Bhakti Yoga Institute is now recognized. And the title is a very interesting title, The Non-Physical View of the Origin of Species. So I just want to say that basically Srila Prabhupada saw that the modern the modern disease, the reason why the world is the way it is now is because people have complete faith in the scientists. The scientists have replaced the priests. So the scientists are saying things like we came from chemicals, the world originated from a big bang, and so on and so forth. And everybody is just blindly believing them. And because of this belief, the whole lifestyle has changed. What does it need to pray? What does it need to be religious? What does it need to be moral? If everything just came from a big bang and we just came from chemicals. So Prabhupada saw that as the cause of the disease in the modern world. So he really wanted to prove that life basically comes from God, and that we're not just like molecules, but there's something beneath this atoms and molecules. So this is the first conference, and also he was also interested in synthesizing science and religion, because these are the two paradigms of knowledge which are often seem to be separated, but Maharaj tried to synthesize them and show that they don't necessarily have to be seen as separate entities. So for all these conferences, Maharaj was very, very particular that the venue must be very good, Prashadam must be very good, so that the guests will be pleased. And he also wanted, Prabhupada also said that there should be some cultural presentation at the end of each conference. This is in San Francisco, 1990. And Sripada had told that for Bhakti Yoga Institute, they can dress, the preachers in Bhakti Yoga Institute, they should dress very nicely, wearing a coat and tie. So Maharaj was actually, that time he was a sannyasi. Prabhupada had told him to give him the instructions to dress, in ways to appeal to the modern section of people. So it's more pictures. Okay, this is another scientist, very famous scientist, ECG Sudarshan. Happiness is not within the purview of physics. So 1997 was in Calcutta. C. Jayapataka Maharaj was also one of the speakers in that conference. Various religious leaders, scientists, and political leaders were involved. And the prasadam was, you can see, very elaborate. Various kinds of cuisines and various kinds of people. So there is hospitality was very important. It's very important as aspect of Vaishnava culture. And he was also involved in the United Nations. So this the last conference actually in Rome, 2004. It was called the Second International Conference on Life and Its Origin. It was held in a very prestigious place called the Proto-Moteca Hall, and this is actually a very historical place. And Maharaj actually didn't have enough money to organize his conferences, because actually his conferences would cost lots and lots of money, and he didn't get any support. So he had to raise the money by himself. But he had full faith in Prabhupada, because Prabhupada told him, "Don't worry about money, I will supply." So he took that very literally, and he just organized the conferences. And somehow the Lakshmi would just come, we just flow in, and everything would be a success. So for this particular place, it's a very prestigious place, very ancient historical place, where the venue is, where the conference is held. And the persons who were in charge of the place just gave it to Maharaj free of charge to organize it. So somehow by the mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna, everything will just go on smoothly, even though Maharaj didn't really get any support. Yeah, this is mentions that. And the President of Italy congratulated the Bhaktivedanta Institute for holding this important conference in Rome. So Prabhupada said that the Bhaktivedanta Institute, one of the purposes is to bring prestige to ISKCON. And as you can see, Maharaj conducted himself in such a way and organized everything in such a way that this prestige did come to the Krishna consciousness movement. Oops. So in this particular conference, what happened was that we got all these children, Catholic children, to sing the Brahma Samhita. There's actually a recording of it. It's very, very beautiful, because these people are naturally very good singers, because they sing in the choir, and then they're trained by a friend of mine who actually introduced me to Krishna consciousness to sing the Brahma Samhita, and it was a wonderful, really, enchanting performance. So more information on the conference, various Nobel laureates, and so forth. So this is a picture just outside the venue. Oh, this is in Vrindavan, 2005. He started this All India Science and Spirituality Quest in 2005. I was there for this conference, so he wanted to get the students be involved in discussing science and spirituality. So the first one is inaugurated by Maharaj in 2005, and since then until now, some of my disciples are continuing this conference. And last year, the President of India, Pratibha Bhatia, right? She was the guest of honor, so it's become
I was in that.
You're there, yeah. So it's become a very prestigious event. 2005, I was also one of the student speakers. I was just completely new. Still Maharaj asked all of us to come and speak. This is in Delhi, in Vrindavan.
So after this, second one is in Puri?
In Jagannath Puri. By 2006, Maharaj had already left.
Right.
So the subsequent ones were organized by his disciples under the guidance.
So we had in Puri. After Puri, it was in once in Tirupati, Srirangam, Trichy. Yeah. So all these dhams, different dhams.
Yeah. So what happens after the end of the conference, everybody will go to the temples and visit the holy dham, even the Muslim or Christians. So this, I think there's another conference. I'm not too sure about this. 2006.
This is in Philadelphia. This is where I used to drive Maharaj from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Healy.
So 2006 and Denver. So Maharaj is actually accepted among the scientific community as a pioneer in the synthesis of science and religion. Before him, I don't think, I'm not sure anyone else had done it before. This is in Puri, 2006. After Maharaj had already disappeared.
Yeah.
So that's the end. So I just wanted to add one more thing. There's another feature of Maharaj which is not reflected here, which many people may be familiar with. It's called Rangini Kirtan. Basically, Manipur is a historical Vaishnava place because if you read the Mahabharata, Arjuna actually went to Manipur, and then he married the princess called Chitrangada, and then they had a son called Babruahana. So several Manipuris coming down from the lineage are considered to be descendants of Babruahana. And Maharaj Prana Mantra, the third stanza says, Babruahana Vamsati Someya Subhadrishte. She was coming, have taken birth in the lineage of Babruahana. And because of the inherent Vaishnava culture, when Gaudiya Vaishnavism went to Manipur in the 18th century by the disciples of Narottam Das Thakur, the whole state became Vaishnava. Everybody there was wearing tilak. Even now, you go there, you see the posters, the movie posters. They're wearing, the hero and the heroine is wearing Gaudiya Vaishnava tilak. So then, and the king developed this wonderful Sankirtan dances and Rasila performances as part of Manipuri culture. So this has spread all over Manipur, but Maharaj took this culture and spread all around the world, so much so that after some time, he started in 1989 in US, and after a few years, after about 10 years, it became the most widely booked cultural performance all over the world. Some of you may have seen it, the drummers, the martial artists, and the Sankirtan dancers and Rasila dancers. And it was a unique way of preaching because Maharaj understood that this world is a secular world. It cannot preach religion directly. So you have to present Krishna consciousness through culture and through culture and art. So in places like Singapore, for example, where Prabhupada is actually not allowed to come to Singapore, and the movement in Singapore until now is still banned. But Maharaj, by using these cultural performances, they were actually the main item for the World Trade Organization Summit in Singapore in I think 1995 or 1994, and there's a picture of Maharaj talking to the Prime Minister of Singapore and giving him prasadam. So by using this strategy of using culture to reach out to people, intellectuals and all, he made great inroads in preaching Krishna consciousness. So like that, they've preached in places like Syria, this cultural performance. There were 600 performances so far, at least 600, and they've gone to places like Syria, Iran, all over America, Malaysia, participating in musical festivals, cultural festivals, and summits and so forth. So I think that's all I have to say. So I'll end here. So thank you very much for coming, and hope you enjoy the prasadam and the program.
I too have always regretted, although I've lived, I feel like I've lived really long, and in this time I haven't. I've learned about great Vaishnavas who have been on this planet while I've been on the planet, and I haven't had their association. I mean, I might have even seen them once, but I never really associated with them. Actually seeing is also associating, but I always regret that I cannot spend more time. So sometimes a couple of years, what I did is whenever I heard there's a Vaishnav anywhere in the vicinity of where I'm living, I would just like travel to there, even if it meant like, I don't know, sometimes they were 8-hour car drives or like 2-hour flights or something. I would just like randomly plan to go and take the mercy. But I still, feel like there's Bhakti Yoga Swami, who I never associated with enough. And now, after coming into association with Sravanananda Prabhu and his family, I learned more about Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. And I regret that I could not associate with him at all. But I am very grateful because actually the Vaishnavas never leave us. And I'm having Maharaj's association by the mercy of Sravanananda Prabhu. And I'm really grateful for this. And I'm really grateful, Prabhu, that you have Maharaj's padukas, his shoes that he wore. Because every time I come to their home, I always ask Yogamaya, can you please give me Maharaj's blessings, put his shoes on my head. And I always think that, this is, this is an opportunity in front of me, and if I can take the mercy in this way, then I always try to do that. And I'm pretty sure, well, I guess Prabhu can say better, but I'm pretty sure the mercy is coming, and I can feel his mercy all the time in the association. So I'm very grateful, Prabhu, to you and everyone for this wonderful association. Hare Krishna. Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj ki. Jai.